Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 119-101. The Lakers got the victory in San Antonio. Did not say there was a trap game for the Spurs. The Lakers have been playing bad ball. The Spurs been on a four-game winning streak and all different types of stuff. And this is a game you just expect after watching the Lakers last night that they would come in and have nothing. We had 7 players in double figures tonight. 7 players in double figures. We made the adjustment. We put Dalton Connect in the starting lineup, removed Cam Reddish, and it worked in this matchup. It definitely did. Dalton Connect was the high man with 20 points and I think 9 boards. And we just got a whole lot out of everybody, man. D'Angelo Russell, I think, chipped in pretty good with like double-digit points. I think it was like 16 points or something like that. 7 assists, somewhere in that range. Max Christie had an awesome game for the standards that we have for him. He was terrific on both sides of the floor. Really gave us two-way energy, which is something we just don't have very much of. But he hit some threes. He slashed at the rim, blocked a shot on, I think it was Wembayama. I think he blocked in one. I don't know if that was Wemby or not, but he had a hell of a block in this game. Just, the offense and the defense came together, and that's just something we don't see in one player very much outside of Anthony Davis. So I really was happy with Max Christie, and hopefully that's a building block for more of what he can bring to the table. Anthony Davis, 14 rebounds, I think 19.7 assists, only 1 turnover. Braun had a triple-double. I believe it was like maybe 17 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists. I don't remember the stats out of my head, but he had 5 turnovers tonight. But all in all, I thought Braun played a good game. We got to keep an eye open for his rib, though, because he kind of had an awkward collision with Wemby's hip, and that rib was hurting a little bit, and he just played through it. So I don't know how much I should be concerned or not, but these are the little things we want to keep an eye on. Rui Hachimura had a pretty good game. I don't remember exactly where he was with it, but I think it was somewhere like around 16 points or something like that. Austin Reeves as well. I think he walked away with like somewhere in the double digits. 7 players with double digits, basically. So, we just really love what we saw from everybody as a team. I think we shot 38% from the 3, which is pretty good. 50+% from behind the arc. Definitely, from the field rather. The team just played really well. We crashed the boards, won that by a +7. And that's where I think we really got the strength going for ourselves, just crashing the glass. We still gave up 11 offensive rebounds, which is always irritating, but we also had 11 of our own. This was an all-around great team effort, exactly the way you want to see this team bounce back after having the type of game that we had yesterday, where we completely collapsed. And of course against Denver, same thing, and missed free throws against Orlando. We just ain't had a whole lot to be happy about, but this was the type of adjustment. Moving Dalton back into the starting lineup, we got back to the winning ways that we had when we had him in the starting lineup while Rui was out. I just think that we all can collectively agree that we're a much better team when Dalton Connect is being featured. And he was the high man with 20 points, as already stated. I think he hit like 4 threes. He probably would have had more than that if we would have fed him more. And so, I'm a believer in Dalton Connect as probably our third most important player at this point. I really am. I'm not just saying that because he's a rookie. I'm saying that because as hard as it is for all of our guys to get buckets, he scores easy. The game comes to him easy, man. He don't have to do a whole lot. It's not a lot of energy exerted from him to put up a lot of points because he can hit threes with such swift ease. And he's just calmly jogging back down court. And then when you need to find him, he moves excellent without the basketball. So he finds himself in scoring position and can jam the ball with the best of them. So his athleticism and his three-point shooting is just a combination that's really rare. And like I said, he's a good rebounder. I don't think we've seen the best out of him. When he develops more, you're going to see double-digit rebounding totals from him. So I think he's already our third most talented player. I really believe that. And as I said when we drafted him, there are going to be times where he's going to score more than everybody else. And this is one of those nights. So I don't think we should take him out of the starting lineup. I think he should pretty much be a mainstay in the starting lineup from here on out. I think we're a much better team if we get him his looks early. And I'm glad JJ made the decision quickly. And I think that, when you see that adjustment make such drastic improvements on your offense, when you consider that not only did we do that, but we also got so much out of so many other people. You could just see, look, getting him involved. Braun, AD was looking for everybody. And D'Lo got it going early. Dalton had it going early. Rui had it going early. And then our stars were able to get theirs after that. That's a recipe for success. Let everybody feel the ball. Let everybody get their shots up. And it goes from there. Now, I think a big part of why this game worked out for us is because we had drastic improvements or high games from so many people who we see struggle so very much. D'Lo don't usually play like this. Rui don't usually play like this. Max doesn't usually play like this. Dalton we usually don't get this much from. So I think that's why we had such a fantastic win. These are not performances that we're used to seeing from folks, and I don't know if we can count on these every night. But this is the type of talent that we can really, showcase if we just utilize our guys the way that we're capable of. This is what we hope we can see more of. So I don't know what got into D'Lo specifically, what made him turn it on tonight. I have no idea what motivates him. You know what I mean? It's always random when he has games like this, but this was a welcome situation where he really just played well, man. He really played well from the start of the game all the way to the end. He was doing what he needed to do, taking good shots, hitting shots, making plays for others. He was good, man. He was really good. So that's exactly what we need to see him do consistently. Max Christie, like I said, I was so excited about seeing him just do things on both sides of the floor. Usually with him, it's like the offense isn't coming around, but the defense is usually there. Well, tonight he had both going, and you can see how much better it made our basketball team. I like some of the rotation choices that we had tonight. I thought we experimented some with rotations that I don't think we had seen, and I thought it yielded positive dividends, man. I thought Cam Reddish looked pretty good, even though he was coming off the bench. He had a very good plus-minus. Defensively, he helped us. And Christian Coloco, I think we're a more steady team with him down there as our backup center than I feel we are with Jackson Hayes, who of course missed this game with the ankle. I actually didn't hear any update on his ankle injury. I still don't know what's going on with that. But just the same, I just felt like we were a bit more sturdy down there defensively in general. Having Coloco down there and more Max and more, Cam. So, yeah, this is a very, very good, refreshing team win where a lot of people played great at the same time, and you love to see that, especially on the road, coming off a game that was just so very embarrassing. Not one game, 3 games that were extremely embarrassing. And I think you look at San Antonio, they kind of had an off night. You could tell they were a little fatigued from last night's game. I thought they shot the 3-ball poorly. Wemby had an off night from behind the arc, 2 of 9. One thing I gotta say though is Harrison Barnes looked fantastic, man. I heard he got Player of the Week. I wasn't aware before it was said tonight, but boy, I can see why. He was hitting some of everything, doing things on defensive side of the ball as well. They just have a different team, and I think it's as often people say, the apology should be as loud as the offense. Well, I don't have an apology, but I do have to recognize something right now and say the CP3 is playing better ball for the Spurs than I expected. And I was real loud about how ridiculous I thought it was to sign him. And he's played great for them this year. It's still a long season left. I think a part of my criticism was that I didn't think he could make it through the season. But he really fits in with that team. He didn't have the greatest game tonight, but just overall, he's been really good for the Spurs, man. He's really preserved his career with this team. So I felt it necessary to say, I was wrong. I really was. I was wrong about CP3 thus far. He looks great with the Spurs. And his signing was good. And so that's really what we saw tonight was the Spurs not really have a great night. Trying to bring Devin Vassell back. He was a minus 22 on the night. I just felt like, that can kind of work in your favor when you're trying to bring a guy in who's been out for a little bit. Kind of takes away from the opportunities of the guys who have been hot for the Spurs, which helped them get their 4-game winning streak. So I thought, that type of thing really works in your favor sometimes. But I thought it was more about what we did right than what the Spurs did wrong. And I just really like that we could finally see our team as a unit come in and just be good. Everybody, just about everybody we use had a really good night at the same time. And you know, it's what we needed, man. It's what we needed. I don't know what JJ said to these guys. I can't imagine it was just simply the insertion of Dalton Knecht into the starting lineup that made it so that everybody played better. But it kind of looked that way, to be completely honest with you. It's like all is right with the world. Not only did Dalton fix our starting lineup, but it also trickled down to some of our secondary rotations looking more cohesive and better. So, you know, that's something I see there. And you couple that with the Spurs just kind of not having energy, missing shots. You know, I thought it was a physical game out there for sure. And I think we won that battle. We won it on the boards. You know, Anthony Davis hitting the glass, 14 rebounds tonight, I thought was big. And just the overall assists, I think we had like 36 assists or something like that as a team. So when you have guys looking for one another in the way that we were able to find people, it's no wonder why we had 7 players in double figures. So that's the thought, man. It's not a whole lot to complain about when you're playing well. And yeah, we've had a lot to complain about over the last 3 games, but winning cures all, man. Winning cures all. And while, you know, I don't think San Antonio is a great team, they're a team that's been on fire. They're a team that we had trouble with last week, even though we got the victory. And I think beating them is something to be proud of this year. I do think that, especially when Wemby's out there. So, yeah, man, that was what it was. I think we needed that. Now we got a big game coming up, another tournament game that is an absolute and utter must-win if we want to get into the knockout rounds. OKC on Friday, you know what I mean? That's really what it is, and that is the best team in the Western Conference, record-wise. And, you know, this Spurs team just beat them a couple days ago without Wembanyama. So I do think that was an outlier, but it does give us some confidence that we can come in and play a very good game against them on our home court and not have the looming poor play that we just witnessed over the last several games being what we carry into that particular matchup. So, you know, I told everybody at the beginning of the day, everything about this game says that the Spurs are supposed to beat the Lakers. The Lakers are playing bad, the Spurs are playing great. So these are just a clash of what you would expect would just ultimately be a very, very sure bet. And sure enough, if you took the wrong side of this bet, if you thought the Spurs were going to win, boy, did you lose some money tonight. You lost a lot of it, and that's what I was trying to get everybody to understand who follow me. I would not have bet on this game for the Spurs, even though everything that the Lakers had shown me versus what the Spurs had shown me, it told me that the Spurs were definitely going to beat us tonight. I said I wouldn't be surprised if we won by 10. We won by even more than that. And I just trust my basketball experience as it pertains to watching this sport for all of my damn life. Sometimes things are not what they seem as it pertains to what you expect. Us coming off a back-to-back as poorly as we looked last night, there's no way you expect us to come in here and beat a team that's on a 4-game winning streak in their own house. And yet, history and my experience watching this has told me that's exactly what you should probably expect. And then here we were. Here we were. So we got the win. Our team looked great. San Antonio didn't really put up that much of a fight, to be honest with you. I mean, well, that's not really true. They did put up a fight. They went on a couple runs, but we withstood all those runs by just being who we needed to be on the road tonight. So I thought this was one of our better road wins, man. We've had some solid road wins, but we're not that great of a road team. This could be arguably one of our best road wins of the season thus far. So, yeah, man. Now, as far as who gets the game ball, I've had a hard time trying to figure out who gets the game ball for this one, man, because you look at 7 players, all played well. They all came together to really help the team. You know, you look at Bron's triple-double, but then you look at his 5 turnovers. He's basically averaging 5 turnovers this month. You know, so I don't feel all that great about that. Anthony Davis, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 19 points. I think those 7 assists really stand out to me. And those boards, obviously. I don't know if I want to go there. Max Christie had an amazing game for his standards. I've given him the game ball as of recently as maybe about a week and a half ago. And I thought he probably even played better tonight than he did there. D'Angelo Russell bouncing back, playing extremely well, really helping the team just by getting it going and being aggressive and being efficient, which is a rarity for us these days with him. Dalton Connect getting into the starting lineup, leading the team in scoring, hitting threes, just playing great without the ball, as already mentioned. I mean, it's just so many players played well tonight that it really is hard to single out one. And I haven't figured it out. I'd be lying to you if I told you, somewhere between Max Christie, D'Angelo Russell, and probably Anthony Davis for me. I'm not really sure which one to give it to. But, my gut tells me to just find somebody who's struggling, somebody who's not going to get the game ball very often, and just give it to them. And I think it should be D'Lo. D'Lo's the one who's been struggling the most. D'Lo's the one we've been calling out, saying that he's going to play himself out of the league if he keeps playing like this. The one I said I didn't think we'd get another good game out of him as early as this morning. I said that. And he came in tonight and really helped the team. He really was aggressive. He did some things on the defensive side that showed aggression. And I just think he was helpful to his teammates, cheering people on, getting guys the ball in rhythm. I like the feed that he had to Max Christie from behind the arc. He had other options, but he chose to get the ball to Max. I just really like what I saw from D'Lo tonight. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to be giving him the game ball too often because he's had such a horrible season. So let me give this game ball tonight to D'Lo Russell. I do think there may have been a few other players who played better than him. Of course, we got to acknowledge everybody tonight. But I just think this is a great time to give D'Lo his props for bouncing back and playing really well tonight. And that's exactly what we need, man. We need him to play like this every night. So hopefully this can be a stepping stone for him raising his value out there and being more a part of winning for our team. Because when he's got it going, we're hard to beat, man. So, like I said, 7 different people were capable of getting that game ball tonight. I'm not mad at anybody for having player of the game go a different direction on their platform. But for me, the game ball will go to D'Lo Russell tonight. So, yeah, man, that's what it is. It's hard to really provide a whole lot of commentary when there was so many different numbers to look at in the stat sheet. Everybody had over 12 points, basically. I'm so very pleased with the insertion of Dalton Connect back into the starting lineup and the intentional feeding him the ball early and often throughout the course of this game. I think he can have this type of performance every single night or even better in certain situations. Honestly, I think he can play even better than this. And I just want us to feed him like this every night. This is the way I think Dalton should be fed. And allowing his gravity to create space for our stars and letting that space create more opportunities for our other role guys. So I thought that decision was essential to us winning this basketball game, and I think it was a injection of life into our overall unit. So good call by J.J. Redick doing that. I like the rotations for tonight for the most part. I thought we did some good things, withstanding some interesting calls down there. I thought the referees were a little different. Hit all of our free throws as a team, 10 to 10 from the free throw line, which is important given the fact how poorly we've been shooting the free throw. Obviously, with us getting there 10 times, that should tell you something's wrong, because damn well the Lakers average more than 10 free throws. I ain't got to tell anybody that. So yeah, that was something. But we did what we needed to do. We shot the ball pretty well for the most part throughout the course of this game, and I thought we withstood the San Antonio runs that I told us we would see. They tried to make a run in the third, and we put our foot on them and made sure that they weren't able to capitalize on that. So it was just a lot to love, man, out there, honestly. Max Christie's play, I was so happy to see Max play as well as he did, man. I've been waiting for him to show that he can just put it together on both sides of the floor. I think that if he can do this every night, it just changes the entire ceiling of our basketball team, man, because we can trust him to be in more lineups. That's what it is, and we need what it is he does. With us not having arguably more than one or two two-way guys, Max is the one two-way wing that if he plays well, suddenly our need to get two-way wings isn't as dire. It's that you got to work into the equation that he's not going to play like this that makes it so important that our team find a Cam Johnson, find a Jeremy Grant, find a Dorian Finney-Smith. If Max Christie can be that guy, we can afford to kind of ease up on trying to make certain decisions that ultimately bring us that peace. It'll still help us a lot, but it won't be an absolute need if he can just be that person for us. You know, at his age, and with his ability to stretch the floor, with his athleticism, his ability to rebound, you know, he can improve in some areas, putting the ball on the ground, you know, and driving at the rim, for which we saw him do tonight in a good way. Improve his passing, for which we saw some good ones and some bad ones tonight. You know, we can really utilize what it is that he does that pretty much nobody else on our team does. And that's be high level on both sides. So Max Christie, I could argue, is one of the most important players in our entire unit, man. In our entire unit. And when we have yet to see him play this well all season long, but we've also not seen him get as consistent in minutes since he's been drafted until this particular stretch of games where we've been playing him regularly. So he's only going to get better from here. And now this is when you start hopefully playing him more, man. Getting him into more rotational opportunities. Maybe we can get him in the starting lineup if he continues playing like this. And then we'll really have our two guard that can defend and score on and play both sides of the floor. Then it settles our roster so much more, man. So that's what it is for me. I think that was most exciting, even though I gave the game ball to D'Lo. I think Max Christie playing well was really what was my favorite thing about this game. And so, yeah, man, lot to love there. And that's really what it is. I hate the punishment that Braun had to take in this basketball game. I think the little knick-knack injuries are going to start to pile up for him. They are. They don't have to be real injuries, but at this age, get hit in the ribs here, you know, fall on your elbow there. That stuff really starts to eat away at you. So I got a feeling that one of these games, he's probably going to sit out. Coming up sometime in the next week or so, he's probably going to sit a game or two because the punishment is starting to pile up. We've been playing some really physical games lately. So that's something I've been paying attention to. But, you know, today he really came through, triple-double. The scoring's down, I will admit, but I think that was by design and looking for other players, and guys had it going, so it wasn't necessary for him to do too much. Yeah, that's really what it was. I thought we were good there. We just need to get our turnovers together. Some of the passes that he tries to squeeze into tight windows and tossing the ball in certain directions, I just don't think his playmaking has been accurate lately. And although he does turn the ball over historically a lot with the Lakers, as of late, some of the turnovers have just been unforced, just been misreads and bad attempts at passes. So, yeah, man, I'd like Braun to clean that up. But all in all, this was a fantastic game for us. Really, really fantastic game for our overall team. One of the best games we've played all season as a unit. I definitely think that. And couldn't come at a better time, man. So that's really what I got to say, man. It feels good to not complain about this basketball team. It feels good to have something to really be pleased with when it comes to them. Seeing everybody kind of clicking at the same time. Not really having too much to complain about at all on our end. It's just a rarity at this point. And so hopefully this can be a building block for what's next. And salute to Kobe Minute, of course. But this is one we can be proud of, man. What can I say? We still got a long way to go to overcome our woes, but this shows us a blueprint for what we can expect from this team if we can just put it all together. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. I appreciate everybody rocking with BDF 44, and I'm out.